Well, check day 56, coyote number 42 for the season. She's pretty wound up. She's got a lot of hair missing on her back. Shoulders are all ate up from rubbing. She got chunks of hair coming out of her in different places. She's really fat too, so she must have just had something really filling to eat. She's so fat she doesn't even want to move. She just wants to lay there and let me take her out. So you can see it's a good spot. I mean, I guess you can't see, but we got a bunch of cattle trails coming through here, and it intersects here on a dam. It's really blowing, so I'm not sure how much of my audio you're going to get, but this is all the video I'm going to be able to get of this dog. I'm not going to bust out the video camera for the show, so I'll probably just use this video in it when I do it. Good dog to take out. We'll see you again. Well, this has been a good day so far. Had one coyote this morning on the fur line, and you can see that big lodge behind me. I came and set a new job yesterday and had 4 beaver this morning. So you can see 2 here that I pulled off this lodge. There's 2 more on the other side of the pond by the buggy. I decided to come here and take care of this first. If I was going to get wet, might as well get wet while I was doing this and not be wet the whole way over. But here's the beaver. Sorry about the camera. It's got something going on. I was going to be blurry. Anyway, here we are. 2 beaver. One definitely a full adult. The other one looking like it might be 1.5 years old. Can't tell for sure, I guess, but tail's a lot smaller. Body's a lot smaller. It looks like it was born 2021. It still hadn't split off from the group. So the hut there, as I show you, is had a lot of damage, and they say that this hut hadn't really been here until recently. So the beaver have been hard at work, and this is about a 4 to 5 acre pond, 4.5 acre, I don't know, something like that. And over there on the far end, you can see my buggy. I've got 4 other traps on that side of the pond. 5 other traps on that side of the pond. So we're gonna get over there and take care of those other traps, take care of those beaver, and get on down the line. If you need beaver control, I'm your guy. Here's the 3rd beaver. See the setup we got here on the other bank. Here's the buggy. Wish I'd get that buggy down in here. Hauling these beavers is a pain. But you've got all these little trails in here. And you can see that one goes to this crossover here. And I've got a snare right in there, just in case. Both my snares were knocked over last night with no catches in them. So, and the trails run all the way through here. And then all these little shallow waterways that the beaver are traveling. And I knew this one was kind of isolated, so I put a conibear in here. There's another crossover right there that goes to kind of the spillway area, and just on the other side of that fallen tree. And I got a snare there. There's a caster mound that was already made up on the bank. So I threw my own caster mound right there next to it, put some caster on it, kind of piss them off. And that's the biggest beaver I caught right there. And then I threw a caster mound up here on the bank, kind of near where this trap is, in between the trap and the snare over here, hoping these beaver would get in here and start circling around and I'd catch a few of them right here. So that's with the little one. I got the big one in my pack here behind me. And now we got a much bigger one, probably 8-10 pounds heavier than the one on my bag. sitting right there. And there's one more over here on the dam that I saw on my way in. Anaconda bear. It looks about the size as this younger one here. So I just noticed something. I stood on that baseball. It was kind of there in the grass a little bit, but that's a regulation size baseball that these kids over at Beggs High School must have knocked off that field and landed all the way over here on this man's property where I'm trapping these beaver. How long of a drive that was, son, but somebody needs to sign that kid. Beggs High School knocking them out of the park. Here's that castor mound I was talking about, and that little spillway that spills out over here runs on down into some lower area. You can see there's beaver damage down in there, and there's beaver damage all in the trees back behind the dam. They've done a ton of work in here over the years, but they're starting to bore holes in the dam, and that's really going to cost them. But that's the castor mound to the left here. That's the one I added, but the other castor mound already existed, and the beavers come in on top of it since me and added that grass and that mud right there to go ahead and reclaim a spot. That's probably the beaver I caught right there, that big old bastard. But you can see my snare, and it's set up in such a way where the beaver is going to come up or down that slide, and hopefully I'm going to neck snare them. But you can see they use this a lot. It's well beaten path, and the same with the other one I have a snare in over here. It's a well beaten path. So we're going to pull a lot of beaver out of this pond, I'm sure of it. I remembered when I was over on that hut on the other side of the pond that when I put this trap back in a little while ago, I didn't take the springs off. Don't be that guy. Don't forget your spring safeties. Take your damn safeties off and make sure you catch the beaver. Worst thing ever is finding a trap snapped that didn't close because the springs didn't go off. And now your beaver knows all about that trap. You want that the first time the beaver to learn about that trap, you want it to die in that trap so it's over with. I got a prime example to give you an idea of some of the damage that a beaver can cause. One beaver is not going to do this much damage, but when you let them run unchecked, this is what happens here. Screen's all fuzzy again. Alright. I'm a perfectionist, and that kind of thing upsets me. Get one piece of dust right in the middle of that little camera lens, and look at what it does. Anyway, you can see, you know, we got beaver chips everywhere. We've got trees that they've already cut down because the beaver have damaged them and knocked them over. But as you look back down past this pond dam, every one of those are beaver damaged. That's 20, 25, 30 trees just right here on the back side of this pond dam. And you know, having trees on the back side of your dam is, you know, can be really beneficial to keeping your dam in place. But you can see now they're bringing in gravel and some rock to try and plug up holes of old beaver huts, and the dam's starting to collapse from within. And this is what happens. Beaver get in here and they start to do damage like this, and then they bore holes in your dam, and then it rains real bad. In Oklahoma, we get flooding rains very often. Floods are a normal thing in Oklahoma, and you go to other places of the country and they don't even have drainage for rain because they don't get that kind of rain. And then when they get a flood, it destroys them. Here we've got drainage everywhere because we flood all over the place. Well, these beavers created drainage, but not out of concrete. And that water goes in and it creates an issue where the dam starts to sink in on itself. Now this pond's a little bit low. You can see more beaver damage down on the far end. I'll bet there's 30 trees right in front of me here, but I'll bet 70 to 100 trees right here on the back side of this dam have all been damaged by beaver. And a lot of them are good hardwood trees too. So make sure once you start recognizing beaver are living in your pond that you do something about it. There are places beaver can be where they're not going to destroy your man-made ponds that cost you money. And getting in here, setting up on the beaver, and making sure we clean them out is the important part. Old yellow tooth ain't going to be boring any more holes. So 4 beaver on this job today. Maybe I'll make another section of this video with all 4 of them here in the back of the boat. But I got to get this beaver out of the hole and get on down the road. So check day 1 on this beaver job yielded 4 beaver with 8 traps. So you know you're on location when 50% of your traps are full. So keep getting after it, and check back in with you guys in the future. Dominion out.